Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Eliot coming to you live on the last show of 2024. We'll be meeting again next week in 2025. And hey, it's Christmas and the first day of Hanukkah. How do you like that? All the holidays are coming in fast and furious together. This is the first time those two have coincided since 2005. So, hey, that's a good sign. Everybody is being pretty mellow and having a good time. There's a feeling of optimism spreading in the land after about 2 years of fear-mongering with an election that seems to be well behind us. And people, except for a few holdouts who are paid millions of dollars to be contrarians, there's a good feeling in the land that I notice in talking to people and when I'm out and about. It's nice. It's good to feel again. So let's hope that spreads into 2025 when we come back. It will be another year, and I hope I can continue this streak and not miss 6 months worth of shows again. I feel like I cheated everybody, but I'm making up for that because I'm going to be very good about being here. And the doctors are, as the character says in Citizen Kane, they've got this idea that they want to keep me alive forever. But hey, I'm not a young man, but I'm not that old that I'm willing to readily cash in my chips at this point in the game. This is an interesting time of year because for some reason, and I never understood why, I guess it's a personal thing, that some people get very depressed. I mean, it could be the weather, it could be the darkness. I don't like that it gets dark so early, especially now that my vision is kind of impaired. But it's still a good time of year, I believe, and I'll tell you how you can make it even better. Go over to my website. I'm not trying to sell you something, so don't worry about that. Go over to my website at magick-works.com, magick-works.com, and click on, at the top of the page there, the menu of the over 100 and some odd pages there, click on the one that says eggnog, and you will see the best eggnog recipe you're ever going to find. It really, if you don't like eggnog, you've probably only been using store-bought stuff. Give this one a shot. Seriously, give it a good shot because I like I said, I'm an old man and I've been making this since I'm 15 years old. See, that's a long time ago. And it'll make you the life of the party. Although one year we had a Christmas party here, and my wife and we had about 200 people here. And the hit of that party was a gigantic cauldron of mulled wine, which I pretty much slapped together by just heating some wine and throwing in things like dried orange peel and clove and a few other things. But whoa, that was one heck of a party, that was. And that's why, even though I'm an old guy and this time of year is especially wonderful and magical for children, I found that I've got something that that time has given me, which is fabulous memories, wonderful times of happy celebration with people I knew and loved and spent time around. And we've all drifted apart over the years, but that's the nature of existence. And here, I carry the memories with me all the time, and it's a wonderful feeling, and I enjoy it. And I wanted to be old ever since I was little. I have very clear memories at like the age of 5 of putting talcum powder in my hair to make me look gray. Well, that happened. I did get gray, but that didn't last long because no, I didn't dye my hair. My hair left. I've got more flesh-colored topping on my head than I have hair. So that's just one of those things that I inherited the gene that made my hair fall out. But that's, we can't let those things get to us. In fact, it's kind of fashionable now. Men are taken to shaving their heads, so that's good. That helps. There's still some people who have this idea that if you have a shaved head, you're some kind of a troglodyte monster, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. I've known so many wonderful people, men with shaved heads, that that stereotype is pretty much out the window now. It's the way things go as the population ages. There was a doubling of the population between 1946 and 1964. And we getting pretty old now, so there's a lot of hairlessness going on. But hey, that just means we have had time to amass marvelous memories, and I enjoy them. I relish the memories, and I cherish having them, and I wouldn't I wouldn't give up any of those times that I've had for so many years. It's just been so enjoyable. So go over to magic-works.com, magick-works.com, and look at the eggnog recipe. And you can also find the pumpkin pie recipe. I haven't been making that one since the age of 15. I think I started that one in my 30s. I found that recipe, which is a version of a pumpkin pie recipe from colonial times here in America. So that is a marvelous recipe for a pumpkin pie. And here's a secret about pumpkin pie. It's not classified as dessert. It's classified as food if you make it with sweet potatoes, and nobody will notice the difference. The texture is the same, the color is the same, the taste is the same, but it's salubrious, and it does good things for you. So check out those recipes for pumpkin pie and eggnog over at magic-works.com, and you will certainly enjoy them. I give you my word as a tarot reader. Now, whatever that's worth, right? Well, we're here now at the last show of the year to spend the next hour looking through the magical window of the tarot, which I call it the magical window because tarot cards let us see around the corners of the space-time continuum and see what's happening in the world. Now, you might want to know why we bother doing that, because there's a belief that you can't really change anything anyway. But I find that the more information we have, the more educated decisions we'll make in life. And there was a time in human history when everybody would go to a tarot reader. Tarot readers were quite common. They were highly respected members of the community. Now, of course, there's nothing. There's a butt of jokes. We get made fun of a lot. Anytime somebody who is a crook shows up and is scamming people using tarot or other psychic means, the newspapers get hold of it, and they always write the same thing. Why didn't they see it coming? If they're psychic. Well, you see, that's kind of a silly question. But the thing is that it does work. You'll hear examples of that working tonight. You'll hear it all the time. You'll hear examples of it not working too, maybe, because that's the way everything is in life. Nothing is infallible. Everything it has its flaws. But the whole point behind reading a tarot is to get more information. It's not so that you can get winning lottery numbers. It's not so that you can control people. It's to get information and learn more about the influences that are going around in our lives, the influences that we can't see but are there. Now, you can't deny that there are unseen influences. If some people are walking around planning and plotting against you, that's a malevolent influence, and you may want to know about that. Oftentimes, people ask me about things in their life that just aren't going well, and I can see that there's somebody there who's causing them harm. And they know it. Generally, people know it. And most of the times, people just want validation of a feeling, and the tarot cards can give that to them. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean, somebody can say, "Is there somebody looking out for me and helping me somewhere?" And we can see that, or is somebody trying to hurt me? We can see that. Now, the thing is, don't confuse tarot cards with an instruction manual. You don't want to ask questions like, should I quit my job and move? Because that's, you either will or you won't. The real question would be, if I quit my job and move, how would that look? and we can take a glimpse into that and see if that'll work out well for you or not. Maybe it will work out, but not now. Maybe it'll work out well later. I'm shuffling up the cards now. That's that annoying noise you hear, because I like to keep the cards shuffled. Statistically speaking, when you shuffle a deck of cards 3 times, it's randomized. But I give it more than that. Well, anyway, that's about it. That's all I've got to say. I certainly urge you to check out my website for those recipes I told you about. It's magick-works.com, magick-works.com. And also check out mojobrothers.org. That's my Mojo Brothers Publishing is our publishing website, our publishing arm. There are new books coming. There are new books that will be here, and I'm hoping to announce at least one of them next week. And I'll give you a little hint of that. It's a fascinating old book that we reproduced, which is one of the things we do. We like to find books that have that came out 100 years ago and people have forgotten. And this is a book, I believe it's from the 1920s, called The Kabbalah of Numbers. Numbers hold a place of great importance in our lives, whether we know it or not. There are certain numbers that keep cropping up in my life, and they mean a lot to me, especially if I'm going to begin an endeavor and I see that number. Whoa, that means a lot. So anyway, we're going to be doing that. There's also books on. There's a book called from about 1919. It's called The Light from Beyond. That will be coming out in about a week or so, maybe a little bit more. Maybe you won't hear about that for 2 weeks. That's from the Harry Houdini collection of the Library of Congress. See, these books are languishing there. These books filled with eternal information are just languishing there. What happened in 1919 is fascinating in that culturally, after the war, World War I, although they obviously didn't call it that, it had other names in its day, the Great War. It was originally called the War Between the Christian Nations, believe it or not, but that, kind of dropped out of favor. I still remember when I was a little boy, my mother had an uncle who was in World War I, and we would talk, and I was horrified. I was a little boy, and when I heard World War I, my first thought was, you mean there were more than one of them? They had to number them? I was kind of a strange little boy. But World War I led to, because so many people died around the world. Oh, it was brutality. It was butchery. So much death and destruction that people took comfort in the Ouija board. That's what put the Ouija board on the map, was World War I. It also became very big after World War II, and then there was a resurgence during the war in Vietnam. That's how it goes, It's people can scoff all they want, but when it hits the fan, folks, people turn to the esoteric and the occult arts because they've been developed for a reason. Don't let people scare you. It's not the devil's work. This is completely wholesome, spiritually based stuff. I urge you to take a look at some of the books that we have at mojoacademy.org. Just you run through the website and look at the titles, and you'll understand that this is not something to be afraid of. This used to be quite a normal part of life, and I'll tell you, more people consult tarot readers than like to admit it publicly. They just, they won't do it publicly, but they do see us. They see people like us. It's enough to support whole organizations of tarot readers out there, let me tell you. So anyway, now we're going to ring the bell 3 times, which I do traditionally, to declare that we are entering sacred space. I've been doing that since I started the show, and I have no idea why I picked the bell or 3 times, but I use it as a line of demarcation. We are now in sacred space where we will be looking through the magical window. And the first person up to look through the magical window tonight is Leanne in Alberta, Canada, soon to be the 51st state of America, right?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't keep up with politics.
It seems highly unlikely, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think I think the press people are just trying to whip up a little fight, But I mean, we can barely down here. We can barely manage the 50 we've got. What are we going to do with the 50th? That's bigger than the whole country anyway, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, what can I look at for you tonight?
I'm not sure. Just like an overall overview kind of thing, maybe.
Okay, well, let's see what we've got. Um, I see that your life is changing, and it's changing for the better. You've
Awesome.
been, according to these cards, you've been very diligent about trying to keep things together. Is that the way you feel?
Yeah.
Because I've got a card here called the Chariot, which it shows a person, figuratively speaking, on a chariot with one horse is white and one is black, and they're pulling in different directions. And it is the job of the person in the chariot to keep things going straight ahead when the horses want to go separately, and that's very draining and very difficult. But I see that from the card called the Six of Swords that it shows a person moving from troubled waters to smoother waters. So I see that you've been making this a good effort to improve your situation, and it's working.
That's
Emotionally,
good to know.
you're growing and changing in many ways emotionally, and there's good stuff coming for you in terms of friendships and love affairs and relationships because you're changing and growing. The most important card here is the Sun. That is a card of health and healing and growth and happiness. So I think that all the work that you put in, because you've been so diligent about trying to keep things going smoothly in your life, is going to start paying off, and it'll be a lot easier for you to do it. That's the important thing.
That's
The ten
awesome.
of swords, the 10 of Swords is here also. That means that you've been through some bad times, but they're over. Does that feel good for you?
Yes,
You-
that's yes.
but you
Seemed
see, the
like I
main
couldn't
thing.
catch a break there for a bit.
Yeah, that's the Chariot. It just keeps you busy and busy and busy. But the Six of Swords shows that you've moved away from that, and you're getting to smoother waters, and that's good. In other words, Leanne, your efforts are paying off. See, so this is telling me to tell you that it's working out well for you. Okay, there's the Four of
Awesome,
Rods here.
awesome.
Four of Rods is a card of great happiness and joy and comfort. So I think you're getting to be where you want to be. It's taken you a long time, hasn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Well, you've been very good about applying yourself towards improvement, and it's working. It's going to pay off. I see that very clearly. You're gonna have an excellent year. Here's another one. It's the 10 of Cups. That's
Oh, I'm
perfected
excited.
happiness, and the Six of Rods. That's triumph and success. There's nothing other than really good stuff here for you. And that just makes me feel good. So
I love it.
congratulations. Well, you deserve it. You really do. Let me see if I can get one more
Thank
card
you.
here. The one more card I have here is strength. That characterizes you. You're strong enough to do this, and it's paying off. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. And enjoy the year because it's going to be a great one for you. Okay?
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye bye now. Now, see, this is what I meant about the cards confirming things for people because Leanne obviously has been working hard at this. The cards told me that she's been working hard at this. She said she's been working hard at this. I have no reason to doubt her. The thing is that she needed some reinforcement to see that this is paying off. And that card, the Six of Swords, that's the one. Take a look at it. Go online and take a look at the Six of Swords. It's different in many different decks, but the overall symbolism is the same, which is moving across rough waters to smooth waters. Now, that sometimes is people believe that means you're going to move, and it could be that basic. But these cards have a deeper nature and a symbolic nature, and to move from rough waters to smooth waters is something that we all want because we don't who likes to be living in rough waters, right? It's nauseating. It's difficult. It's holding. That's the thing, is holding life together is what really hurts people. I mean, not that you should let your life fall apart by any means, but the struggle to hold it together, it can be so tiring, so exhausting. And it's nice to let go once in a while and know that you won't it's not like you're a tightrope walker without a net. One mistake, it's over, right? But this is a good feeling to know that you're moving away from that need for the tight control, and you can relax a bit. Kathy in Riverton, Wyoming is next. Hi, Kathy. You're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi, Eliot. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I am doing okay.
I've got to ask you a question. How does it feel to be in Wyoming, the state that everybody picks on when they want to make change? Like they say, well, why should Wyoming have two senators when they don't have as many people as California? They always pick Wyoming to insult. Why is that? Have you noticed? You must have.
Well, no, it's just a very
I
there's
think
people
it's
out there that don't know that Wyoming exists.
well, from what I've seen, it's a beautiful, beautiful state.
Yes, it's got the hot springs and canyons and mountains, and yeah, it's got wildlife, a lot of wildlife. Yeah, we just don't have any snow right now, which is really rare.
Wow, that is good. That is rare, rather. We have snow here. Maybe your snow came here to New York. We had an inch of snow today. That's the first white Christmas we've had in many years. But
Oh
snow doesn't
wow!
stay snow doesn't stay white in New York City. It gets kind of gray after a
Right.
little while. Anyway, I always feel that this singling out of Wyoming for political what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily attack, but that you're the symbol of all that's wrong with the political system is just goofy, because Wyoming is a gorgeous state, and you shouldn't be we shouldn't be criticizing a place that hasn't got a dense population. I mean, good grief, that says nothing wrong with having a light population density. So what can I look at for you tonight?
Right.
What should
Oh,
we
I
look at
was
in the cards?
wondering about.
Hmm?
I was kind of wondering about my son and his predicament. If you could see anything for him.
Let's see. Well, the first card I have here is the World, so that's a card of assured success, which is
Uh huh.
good. Tell me if these cards apply here. Um, the next is the Hermit. That is somebody who's going to come and guide your son, somebody who will give your son advice and help. The Five of Rods is
Okay.
here. This is a person who's struggling. This is a people. It's a card that shows people beating each other with sticks. It's a group. It's a mass group of
Yes.
people struggling. And then, but
Yes.
the next card is the Eight of Cups, and that shows a person walking away from things in life that are not working out for him and going to things that are working out.
Uh huh.
I see there's been great sadness in his life. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because that's the Nine of Swords. That's a very sorrowful card. And right now, what I'm seeing is the Ten of Rods. He's feeling very overburdened. There's a lot happening. Um,
Yep.
he may be under the influence of somebody who is not very good for him. Is that what's going on?
Um. Maybe. That's
Okay,
a
this
possibility. Yes.
because there's see what I've got here is the Devil card. Now that's not like satanic or anything. That the Devil
Right.
card here refers to a very charismatic and controlling person who keeps
Okay.
people pretty much chained up. So it seems to me that there may be a bad influence in his life right now, but I see him working through that. I seriously see it, and it's going to come as a result of friends who are going to help out. That's the Three of Cups. Okay,
Okay.
so it, it's since the first card was success, the cards are saying it is a bad situation, but it's not hopeless. That's what I'm getting.
Uh huh.
So, you know, you don't have to go into details really. There's a lot of people listening. You might want to be private about this. But what I'm seeing is that he's feeling overburdened. He's been suffering, but he's feeling beaten up. But he's going to come to a point where he will be walking away and changing the things in his life that aren't working. And he will be going to the things that are working. And that is a very, very, very positive outcome.
I'm so glad.
One
Yeah.
card here that I want for you is the star. Okay, that is a card of hope and optimism. It means the situation is not, it's not hopeless, which of course I can see because that first card is the world. So hang in there. It's going to get better. When I don't, I think he's going to have to get free of bad influences first. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
does that answer it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well,
Thank you,
keep me
Eliot, so much.
keep me posted. You know, I can be reached by email at asktarot@earthlink.net or through the Ask One Radio Network. Anytime you want me to pull a few more cards, drop me a line and I will be happy to do it, no charge, okay?
Thank you, Eliot. I appreciate
Good,
you.
good luck.
I
Thanks for
hope
your
you are
kind words.
healing speedily.
Yeah, well, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So thank you very much for calling. Now, see, this is an example now of the tarot cards showing the aura around a situation. We see a young man in trouble, but basically working his way out of it, which is that's good. There's hope there. There are definitely cards in the deck that would indicate utter hopelessness, and they were not there. And there's you got to be rather gentle when you go into that. This is why I always approach each reading cleanly and seriously and with great respect, because you don't know which way it's going to go. You know what I mean? It's funny though how not funny in a laughable way, of course, how so many readings are good readings when I get them. Even when I do private readings, they're good. Not that I'm eager to dispense bad news to people, far from it, but sometimes bad news is the news that you need to hear, and if it's there, I'm certainly going to relay it. But the whole situation of a good outcome, so much of that depends upon a person knowing that something is wrong. And everybody who calls or contacts a reader for advice knows that something is wrong. So you're way ahead of the crowd. You know, a lot of people walk around with their head in the sand and don't know what's going on. But you're ahead of the crowd if you're seeking advice on a situation, and that to me is why these things work out. These readings look so super positive all the time, because you're taking a positive step towards understanding and analyzing a situation, even though it's an unorthodox step. You can't say it doesn't work. Let's put it that well. You can, but you'd be wrong. There, that's my pronouncement for the day. Taylor in Greenfield, Massachusetts is next. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
You actually did.
Oh, good, good. I took a shot at it. So, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm always doing well. I get such great energy from the Ask One Radio audience. What can I look at for you tonight?
I was looking for a little clarity on my love life.
Ah, okay. Has a relationship recently come to an end?
Sort of. Not. It wasn't really a relationship. It was more kind of like a getting to know each other. But it wasn't anything serious.
The reason I ask is that I see the tower struck by lightning here, which is about something suddenly ending, and it's almost a bad ending. So
Yeah.
maybe the cards are being a little melodramatic, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but take heart, because the next card I've got after that is that it's the sun, and that is a card of growth and healing and happiness and joy. It's all the good stuff you can think of. Mostly, that's what's important is healing and growth. I have a couple of sword cards here. One is the Ten of Swords, which means the worst is over. Life has thrown its worst at you, and you're still here. And the Six of Swords. I think I've had these cards earlier today, which is that you're moving in a very positive direction from rough waters to calm waters, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. So what I'm seeing is that you're healing and doing very well. You're not letting what happened get to you. Now, here's an interesting card in this context. It's the Hierophant, which means religious authority. And when a person asks about romantic situations, that card invariably indicates marriage. So that
Oh,
might be in the cards, as they say, for next year for you.
oh, well, that's good news. Thank you.
Well, it could be good news for some people, right? Some people that would be terrible news, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Well, it sounds positive.
Yeah, but it looks like that's going to. Now, there's two things here that I want to explore slightly. The one is the Ace of Cups. That means the beginning of new emotional fulfillment and joy and happiness. See, that's all that good stuff, right? The Justice card is here. You've been treated badly by somebody, and they're going to pay for that. Has this happened?
Yeah, definitely my ex.
Okay, well, this guy, this person is going to suffer for that. There's no doubt about it. You're going to get you're going to get the justice that you feel that you deserve over this. Okay.
Okay.
That's neither good nor bad. That's just the way the karma flows, right? So,
Yeah.
this person treated you badly and very badly, and is going to pay for it. That's the important thing. The overall influence, when you ask about this, I'm getting all these cup cards, which is good because cups are exactly the suit of cards that relate to your question. Is the Ten of Cups, which perfected happiness and joy and a happy home and a family and all kinds of good stuff. So I think this is going to be a very good year for you emotionally and romantically. Okay, all
Oh,
the signs
thank
are
you so much.
all the signs are there. All of them are there.
That was a little pick me up I needed. I really
Well,
appreciate it.
well, you're going into 2025. You're poised for romantic success.
Uh, Amazing.
Yeah, they're your cards. It's nothing I'm doing here. In fact, I've got another card here, which is the Nine of Cups, which is a person who's so happy and so enjoys the sensuous things in life that there's a slight warning that you're going to make people envious. So that's pretty good, I think.
Oh, wow.
So keep that in mind. You're going to be doing if these cards hold up, and they usually do, you're going to be doing very, very well emotionally, romantically, and physically, spiritually, and all that in 2025. So bravo. You you
Thank you
you're on the path to
so much.
you're on the path to success. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you. Happy
My
holidays.
pleasure.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye bye now.
Bye.
And let's shuffle them up again. By next week, let's see. Not next week. Next week we'll get together at New Year's Day here. That's the way that goes. Then after that, I'll be around here. Let's see. What day of the week would this? What are we looking at here? Let's see. Nope. By the time we get together after New Year's, because our first show of the year will be the first day of the year, and then that Sunday, of course. That the Sunday is a very interesting day. It is the Festival of Fools. It is January 5th, which is if you've read The Hunchback of Notre Dame or seen the especially the Charles Laughton version of the movie, that's the day that they crown poor deformed Quasimodo as the Pope of Folly. that was the Feast of Fools was a very special day when in the religious calendar of the time when everything was upside down. So of course they would take the lowest of the low and crown that person the Pope. I was born on the Feast of Fools. I was born on that day, the 12th night of Christmas, January 5th. I know that in England they count the calendar differently for some bizarre reason, which is probably why we seceded and formed our own country. Can't have that. I think they do it on January 6th. But January 5th is the 12th night of Christmas, and the 12th night was a night of madness, as Shakespeare portrayed in his uproariously funny play, the 12th night. But Sunday, January 5 is the 12th night of Christmas, and that is my birthday, which I get to be yet another year older. I made it. Let's see which part of my body gives out this year. Elena in Holden, Massachusetts is next. Hi, Elena. You're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hello.
Hi, Elena. How are you doing tonight?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's see if we can get you feeling a little better than just okay. How's that? What would you like to look at?
I have a sister-in-law who was hours away from a C-section. She collapsed last Tuesday, very early morning, and she and her two babies are on life support. And none of us know what to do, and other than pray. And I am new to this and skeptical, and I was just wondering if there's anything.
Well, other than pray should not be treated dismissively, because prayer is very powerful, and you can find many medical studies that have shown that prayer helps, that prayer absolutely does. The card I have here for you is the Four of Swords, which is about taking a time out, which means it's out of your hands. You know, what happens is going to happen. You know, there's nothing you can do right now. Definitely the emperor, the high priestess is here, which is telling me that yes, prayer would be very effective. And you know, one of the things I've learned over the last few years with the rather calamitous state of my own health is to be able to trust that the experts who have experience in this know what they're doing. Now, I know that's a lot to ask, because a lot of experts got a lot of stuff wrong in the last few years, but those were television experts. I'm talking about the people down in the trenches, the doctors, the nurses, the people who have experience in this, and we've got to believe that they're doing the best they can. I just see that the cards I'm getting, like the Four of Swords and the Two of Rods. These are cards of waiting. So there's really not much that you can do other than wait. And I would say prayer is good. I would ask anybody who's listening to this, who is a healer in doing especially Reiki, if they have your permission, they could send Reiki and healing energy to your family. Would you like that?
Sure. Yes, please.
Okay, because I would never have them do it without your consent, and they wouldn't do it without your consent. That's for sure. And I don't have the ability to speak for you, but if that's what you know that'll help. But what I've got here is the Temperance card, which is a card about balance, and that's things are out of balance now, but they'll come back into balance again. This is a tragic thing. This is a dangerous and scary situation, and we have to hope that everybody comes out of it okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing cards that indicate bad times passing and good times. Hello. I'm back now. I had a little technical glitch.
Okay.
Sorry. I am seeing cards that show that things will clear up, but I'm not getting anything that shows whether it'll be good or bad. It's too soon to tell at this point. But this is because it's overshadowed by cards of sadness here, and obviously you're feeling very sad. I mean, I feel sad just listening to this, and that's human empathy. It's only natural, but we're all pulling for you, and please, I hope everything works out for you. If it does work out for you, let us know, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I will light a candle for you to send some positive energy, and we'll get those Reiki energy here, people, to concentrate on. Let's see, we're talking about Holden, Massachusetts, for Elena, who could use some Reiki energy for her immediate family. How's that?
That sounds good. Thank you. Are you able to just tell me, are they alone?
Let me see.
Or do they have people with,
You mean spiritually speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't see them alone, because I've got the judgment card here, which shows various spirit entities rising from the ground. So yeah, that answers your question. And I have, and the Fool is here. That's a card of great spiritual protection. So you do have very important forces working to help you out.
Okay.
And we'll all send blessings your way.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Bye now. Oh gosh, these are the kind of things that it's things that are supposed to be happy occasions can turn on a dime. And people ask about that. I always ask about, why do bad things happen to good people? There were famous books written on this subject. Bad things happening to good people. Well, we're living in a corrupt world. If you look at the tree of life, go to my website, magic-works.com, magick-works.com, and click on why. I think that's what I call it. That's that the question asked is why. That because in the state of existence, in the spiritual state of existence, we are in the lowest plane. There's just no doubt, there's no way around that. And the world is volatile. One of the things that we learned when astronauts started circling the globe was that the planet is in a perpetual state of upheaval. There are constantly storms, there's constantly lightning, there's constantly earthquake. It's just constantly in a state of upheaval. And here we are, these little flesh robots walking around trying to make sense out of everything and trying to live as successfully as we can without hurting other people. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there who enjoy hurting other people, but I know that you and I are not one of them. But when bad things happen, this is very difficult to deal with because we don't expect it. And hey, look, it can turn on a dime. I mean, I was not feeling very well. I went to a doctor's office and I essentially got a death sentence. And they're working to postpone that at this point. You see, but we still persevere. This is life. This is life in its rawest, and that's the way it goes. So we can only try to maintain a positive attitude and help each other. Carrie in Florida is next. Hi, Carrie. You're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi, Reverend Eliot.
Hi, Carrie.
Some of that just spoke to me. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
When these things happen, we all feel it, don't we?
Yes.
Well, what can I look at for you tonight? I have a few minutes left.
I just want to look at my 2025, and I've had a really, really hard 2024, and I feel like things are getting better for me, and I wanted to know what you see about that.
Yeah, I absolutely do. First of all, things are changing for the better and changing fast. That's the Eight of Rods. The Judgment card is here, which I had a moment ago. The Star is here. These are all cards of positivity. Judgment means that you'll be. It's like a rebirth, and the Star is here, which is the card of hope and optimism. The Fool is here, which is a card of great spiritual protection. Now, the important thing is these are all major cards in the tarot deck, which tells me that this is a very important question in your life. Here's the card is the Lovers. Now, that doesn't really, that's been ruined by movies. The card means facing a decision that you'll be making. There's a decision that you're going to have to make in the coming year.
Yes.
You know about it, right? So you'll. What I've got here is the Wheel of Fortune, which tells me that the situation you're in now is changing. They're changing for the better because the next card is the Six of Rods. And the Six of Rods is triumph and success. But look at that. You have two cards here that are rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other cards are major cards. So you asked the question of your life at this point, because the preponderance of, here's another major card, and I'll get to that in a second. The preponderance of major cards means that it's a turning point in your life. Now, don't be frightened about this one. The card is Death. And now that's a good card. It doesn't predict you're going to die this year. I mean, that's not what these cards do. The card of Death is a deeper symbolic card because there's a sunrise on that card. It means that one period of your life is coming to an end and another period of your life is beginning. And I have a feeling you've been waiting for that, right?
Oh gosh, it's been like 19 months, and I've been battling, and yes.
Well, look at this. Here's another major card. These major cards just keep coming. It's the Temperance card. Temperance means balance. And balance, the simple meaning of that card is balance will be restored in your life. After that, it's a minor card, but one of the best. It's the Ten of Cups, which is about great joy and happiness and fulfillment.
Oh, beautiful.
So, 2025 that's the year you've been waiting for, according to these cards.
Yes.
This is one. It's all coming together. All the stuff that was bad in the past is gone. Okay.
Good.
I'm having a little technical glitch here that is. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you perfectly. Yes.
Okay, good. I got you. Yeah, it's just I'm not getting the sound fed back to me, so it's confusing. Boy, I hate technical glitches.
Okay.
Anyway, things are looking very, very, very good for you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Is there anything else you want to look at?
Yeah. So with this situation, it's kind of like kind of whether I'm going to have a lawsuit or not. Do you see me not having that, or do you think I will? That's the decision, actually.
Let's see what we got here. Let me shuffle them up. I'm not getting any indication of a lawsuit, but let's see what we get.
Well, maybe I won't have one, which is good. I mean,
no, I'm just getting cards. This is so dull. I'm just getting cards of success and joy and happiness. How's that?
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yeah, that's good. No, but there are definite cards for lawsuits, and I don't see any of that. I'm just seeing all kinds of good cards here about happiness and joy.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay, so that's. I can only wish that you share it with everybody around you, because you're going to have a year to beat the band here. It looks great.
Oh, thank you. I need to hear that tonight.
Well, here's I shuffled them up, and again, here's that card, the World. That is assured success. So that's you're on the right. You're really on the right path. This is the year you've been waiting for, and I give you my applause. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye now. Hey, that's it. I think have we come to the end of another edition of Reverend Eliot's Magical Window? Looks like it. And let me just say, it's been a great time coming back. This was a very tumultuous year for me, what with missing 6 months of the show, owing to rather dire illness. But I'm being treated. I hope I'm sounding a little better. I'm hoping I'm sounding okay. I do have a bit of a cold still, which is irksome, but I'll settle for irksome over terminal any day. It's funny how we make these choices, right? Yeah, give me a cold. I'll take an ingrown toenail while you're at it too. Why don't you? But don't even get me started. I want to don't even. This is so. If you're like me and you have a tendency towards hypochondria, don't ever look up to see how many people die every year from ingrown toenails. Don't even you. Well, let me just tell you again. I've got great plans for things coming up in 2025. My big plan for 2025 is to be able to celebrate the return of 2020 of New Year's for 2026. So that should be good. We can get together at 2026. Then if I can pull off 52 shows this year coming up, we'll do it. But we're putting the cap on 2024 with some excruciatingly positive readings for people, and I love it. I just love it. I told you at the start, there's a change in the land. There's an optimism in the land. We underwent couple of years of what's the word I'm looking for? Professional crab apples who get paid millions of dollars by various failing cable television networks to just spread fear and anger. And they failed. They failed. I'm not interested in who the candidate is or what the candidate's party is. I'm looking at the bigger picture. We had a group of people who like to call themselves political pundits, whose whole job is to throw rain on your parade. This is the kind of people who just don't like to see anyone else happy. What surprises me is how rich they are. Come on, folks. If you were packing away $25 million a year, would you spend your life complaining and whining? I think you could do better. I know you can do better. So we survived it. We survived that. And now they're going to try to start it again for 2028, but I don't think it's going to work. I think that we have a revival of positive thinking and positive energy in the land. This is one of the reasons I was so firm during the time I was here this year, that people should read the book Unmasking Fear. And I'd like you to do it again. I'd like to do that one more time, because they're going to start up with the fear campaigns again. There's one thing that these people can't stomach. And let me tell you, I spent a lot of time around television news people during my working life. And I'm telling you, they're not well. Just right there. They like to think they're in the news business, but they're not. They're in the business of getting ahead in the news business. And those are two different things. But they're very depressing people. And the sight of you and me happy bothers them. Seriously. So keep that in mind and go to mojoacademy.org and take a look at the book Unmasking Fear by Lloyd Kenyon Jones. There's a couple of brilliant prefaces and prologues written there by an astonishing writer, me. I had to work that one in, right? And I do want you to think of that book, Unmasking Fear, as your armor. You'll be able to put on your armor to stop them from doing this to us again. This time they failed. But how many times are they going to do this to us before attrition just gets to us and wears us down? Because they're in the fear business, and I am in the hope business and the energy business and the positive energy business, as is everybody at Ask One Radio. We're all about positive energy and good vibes. And take a look again at Unmasking Fear. What I'm probably going to, this year, I'll write a book about positive thinking and positive energy. I know that there's been many books over the years written about it, but I'm telling you, it works. And and don't let people take that away from you. Just don't do that. Don't. Okay? Your positive energy is your shield. It's your armor. So until we get together on New Year's Day, 2025, this is Reverend Eliot, reminding you that time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now.